Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Angel Haj. Me and my colleagues Raed Diab, Rami Youssef, and Salman Derbi are going to present about house control systems. This project will have an enormous benefits to the stakeholders, from giving them the sense of luxury till providing their houses with the best intelligent home that will save the electricity power and your money over time. Worrying about switching lights off and on behind you or even turning the AC on are all in the past now. That's why de novo people are searching for this kind of houses. House control systems are the key of any problem a customer might face in his home. In this house, we will apply these control systems in order to put smart LEDs that will sense the motion of someone passing through it, and automated fans and heaters for regulating the atmosphere. By using control systems that can take the data from inputs like sensors and deliver them to microcontroller in order to manipulate these data and allow the user to perform desired actions.
Hello, my name is Rami Youssef. We have designed a home which consists of 5 rooms: dining room, kitchen room, living room, bedroom, and bathroom. We installed in each of these rooms 2 PIR sensors that will cover all the room, and 2 temperature sensors, one for the room temperature and the other one for disturbances above the door. My topic is about motion detection system. We are showing you here the block diagram for the motion detection system. In the update section, the variable xd is initially equal to 0. We updated its value to be equal to 1 so that it will run 1 time. However, in the output section, since xd is equal to 1, it will run infinitely. We will read the value of each PIR sensor in each room. If it is equal to 1, so for example, in the dining room, if motion is detected, thus the value of the PIR will be equal to 1. So the dining relay pin will be high. So this relay will be activated, making a closed circuit between the lamp and the output voltage after a delay of 3 minutes. If the value is equal to 0, the dining relay pin will be low and the relay will be deactivated, thus the lamp will turn off.
Hello everyone, my name is Raed Diab. My topic is about how to control the temperature in the room with respect to the temperature needed by the user. So as you can see here, we are using this type of DC motor, which has an inertia of 100, a friction of 50, resistance of 120, torque of 0.5, inductance of 105, and the voltage can vary on its terminals from 0 to 25 volt. We have designed this control system so that we can control the temperature in each room. Using this as functional block, we have designed our Arduino code. In the output section, since x of d is equal to 1, is always equal to 1, thus this code will be executed infinitely. So each time we'll be calling detect buttons function. In the detect buttons function, as you can see here, the user is only allowed to enter number 1, 2, 3, or 4. If he entered a valid number, for example, the dining room, which is 1, thus the dining function will be called. In the dining function, we will ask the user to input the temperature needed, and we will call the detect buttons 2. So in the detect buttons 2, the user is only allowed to input the temperature between 40 degrees and 15 degrees, because as you know, the temperature of the room will vary only between 15 and 40 degrees for the whole year. If he entered a valid temperature degree, thus temperature determined will be true. Thus, in our dining function, since the temperature determined is true, thus we will read the values of our temperature sensors, which is one in the center of the room and the other in the above the door of our room, which are here. So we'll read them, add them, and divide them over 2. And this will give us the average temperature in the room. We assign it to the dining sensor read. If this average temperature was less than the temperature needed by the user, thus the heater should be turned on. So the dining relay pin of our Arduino will be high. If the dining relay pin will be high, thus this relay will be activated. And thus this will lead to close the switch between the input and the heater, and thus the heater will be turned on. Else, if our average temperature was greater than the temperature needed by the user, thus we will map the temperature needed by the user, which is from 15 to 40 degrees Celsius, to a signal from 0 to 5 volt, and we assign it to the dining room pin, which is an analog pin. Thus, here we will be having a signal from 0 to 5 volt. On the other hand, these two temperatures, we add them and we divide them over 2. Thus, we will get our average sensor, our average temperature here. And since this temperature is an analog signal, so we need to convert this analog signal to a digital signal from 0 to 5 volt. We multiply it by 5,000 and divide over 1023, so that we will get a voltage signal from 0 to 5 volt here. We will deduct from this voltage signal the inputted signal, and thus we will have an error signal here from 0 to 5 volt. And since 0 to 5 volt isn't enough for our DC motor to turn it on and to control its speed, we need a controller that has a gain of 5 volt. So we multiply this error signal by the 5 volt. We will get a signal here at this node from 0 to 25 volt. We have controlled the speed of the DC motor with respect to the temperature needed by the user and the temperature and the actual temperature of the room.
Hello everyone, I'm Salman Darbi. I will be discussing the benefits and new features that can be added to our project. For this control system there are plenty of benefits, and I'm going to discuss them. First, on the economic side, we can decrease the consumption of electricity by half or more, since the lamps and fans are sensitive to motion, where they are turned off when there is no motion in the house. And there is no switches to be implanted in the walls, since the lamps are sensitive to motion. Also, in our daily lives, the owner is able to control all of his house without even entering it. At the end, our system can be developed to enhance and gain some benefits, such as introducing security cameras for security reasons, where they can be connected to a Wi-Fi and to a smart application on their phone, and everything in the house concerning lights, fans, ACs, security cameras can be controlled from a smartphone. Thanks you all for listening.